All right, now comes the fun part. We have, fixed eyes, teeth, skin tone, blemishes, all this kind of stuff. Let's say we want to go a step further. Now, sometimes this is about where you would stop. If you're just trying to make some really subtle edits, this is a good place to stop. However, let's say we want to take this a little bit further and actually adjust the way somebody looks. All right, we can use these methods to get rid of love handles or fix, deformities or whatever you want to do. So looking at this, her nose looks a little crooked, her jawline looks a little crooked. So we're going to attempt to fix all these things using the Liquify tool. Now, to do this, we're going to either need to flatten this tooth layer, this last thing that we did. We need to flatten that down or merge it down or create another composite layer. I think I'm looking at this, I'm pretty happy with the way that the teeth look, so I'm just going to merge it down. That's destructive, which I've argued against all semester, but in this case, I think we're going to be okay. So I'm going to go merge down so that this layer 3 is what we have. All right, that's the topmost layer. Now, zoom out so we can see this. I'm going to go to the filter menu and down to Liquify. Now, if you've never used this before, it's going to open up a big dialog box, basically takes up the whole screen, and we have a lot of tools here. Now, if you do not have advanced mode checked, you're just going to see this right here, size and pressure. If you do have advanced mode checked, you're going to have a lot of options here, all right? And what you want to do is make sure you have show image checked, show mask checked, and then show backdrop, you can leave unchecked for now. If you show backdrop, it's going to allow you to see the original image sort of ghosted underneath the image that we're getting ready to mess with. All right, so I'm going to leave that unchecked. Now, brush size is pretty big right now. What I want to do is just kind of show you what some of these tools do, and you can choose how to use them in the future as well. This first one is forward warp, which means if I click and drag, it's exactly what it's going to do. It's like smearing those pixels. All right, I'm going to Command Z to undo that. The next one is a reconstruct tool. If I did something that I don't want to do, this paints it back the way it was. A swirl tool is going to do just that. It's going to swirl things. All right, I'm going to undo that. We have a pinch tool, which is actually what we're going to use to make her nose a little smaller. Pinch tool, you will get a brush size about the same size as what you want to mess with, and then you do very small things. Just click once, click twice, click 3 times, and you'll see how the nose gets smaller. It's like magic. The bloat tool does the opposite. If you want to make her eyes a little bigger, click once, click twice, the eyes get bigger. All right. So using those tools, we can do pretty much everything we want to do. I use the pinch, the bloat, and the forward warp to do just about all my edits in here. So with the forward warp, you actually want your brush to be pretty big. So let's say I want to actually reconstruct her face here, her jawline, all right? What I can do is get a relatively big brush and very small movements. So I click and drag just a little bit, and you'll see that I adjust the cheekbone a little bit. The same thing over here. Click, drag just a little bit. Click, drag just a little bit. And it's really easy to do too much in this phase. All right, so just be careful. I'm already doing too much here. But I want to try and even up these cheekbones, or this jawline a little bit. Now, if there are some areas that you don't want to mess with, like the smile, for example, you can mask them using, where's the mask tool? Freeze mask. So I click on that, I paint over the areas that I want to leave alone. For example, if I painted this, and then I painted over the hair, and then I get the forward warp tool, no matter what I do, it's going to leave those areas alone. All right, so that's pretty nice. Now we can hide that mask if we want to. Okay, that looks pretty good. I'm going to zoom in a little bit and try and get her nose a little bit more where I want it to be. So I'm going to take my brush size down a bit. Let's see. I can sort of reposition it. So this is really kind of a interesting thing. I bet you didn't think you'd be doing this at the beginning of the semester. Kind of move that around just to get it symmetrical as I can. Kind of clicking around, zoom out, see how that looks. That looks pretty good. I could even take it a step smaller if I wanted to. So with the pinch tool, just click once. But I kind of like the way it is. All right. So that looks pretty good. If there's anything else I want to do, for example, if you want to adjust her neck, grab your forward warp tool, get a decent sized brush, and you can do that. Okay. If you can actually, you can reshape someone's forehead, their head. You can do all sorts of things. It's really easy to do a bit too much just because it's fun. So I'm going to advise against doing too much, but you can, experiment a little bit. All right. So that looks pretty good. I'm going to click OK, and it'll apply it. And if you want to see what you've done, you can toggle that on and off, and that's pretty fun to see what we've done. All right, so save your file. We have one more video with some finishing touches. So file save. The next thing we're going to sharpen, and we're going to fix the background.